We're here in Barcelona with Gilberto Nobili, Operations Manager and Mechatronics Coordinator from Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. You were in the chase boat today. What was your specific focus on?
We need to learn everything here from Barcelona weather and the sea state. So today was a beautiful day of light wind, a little bit less than what we were expecting, and we take the advantage of whatever we had. So it was a beautiful day of light wind condition in Barcelona. No waves today, so it was good on the chase boat.
Some crisscrossings today with Alinghi. Did you got any takeaways you can share with us?
I mean, when we go out in the water, the racing area is that one, so it's normal to cross other boat in the water. As we know, it's forbidden to do testing, but it's normal that you crisscross. And I mean, we are far from the race. I mean, the races are very close, but we are still far from there. And you never know what you are really doing or they are really doing on the boat. So we need to take all opportunity to learn, and that's what we do, and I'm sure the Alinghi does the same. So more than measure ourselves is learning from on the water with somebody around.
Enrico Boltolini told us in a recent interview you're still developing the boat. We know you will receive a new foil in August and you're still working on the performance of the new rudder. How much technology is there to come?
I mean, you need to evolve until the end. You never stop, and the big problem for us is the production time of the component. So there are parts like the new wing that is coming in August is already in production. So that part is decided, and a wing is take probably 4 to 5 months to be built. We have many components that are still not on the boat. We need to put them. They are in production. Some are still in design. Many sails, elevator and rudders, etc. So we will see a lot of stuff in the next few weeks.
Since you're in Barcelona, what have been the biggest gains that you have made so far in terms of racecraft and performance?
But we've been sailing a lot in Cagliari with a surrogate boat, and we launched the boat there. So the bigger focus for us at the beginning was to learn the venue, to learn the wind, and it's a 360-degree project. So you need to have not only the crew on the boat training, but you need to have a logistic right, you need to have a support boat right. The weather is super important. So the biggest focus at the beginning was that, and now we are a little bit more on the refinement of the performance of the boat. So we are ready to rock and roll.
Recon program today comes to its end. How useful you think it has been for your team?
I have to say that at the beginning I was a little bit skeptic about, but just yesterday night we was discussing, and at the end I think it was a good stuff, because first of all it take away the need to bother about the others, but I think it was good for the safety, because you guys had rules to respect, so we know your rules and we respect those, and in the water is much better, especially now that we see 6 boats. Next week we will see 6 big boats and many little ones. It will be a little bit more messy. So having the Recon program was not too bad.
Gilberto, un messaggio per i tifosi di Luna Rossa.
Ci stiamo impegnando tanto, stiamo facendo dei grossi passi in avanti, veniteci a trovare a Barcellona, poi ci sarà da divertirci.
Thank you so much, Gilberto.
Thank you.
American Magic coach Tom Burnham. That was an interesting day out on the water for you guys. You had an extended period this morning getting the rig set up. New rigging on the boat, was something different?
Yeah, just doing a bunch of new rig tuning and stuff like that on some new stuff, and yeah, getting it all settled in, and took a while to get it sorted this morning on the dock, but yeah, got it out for a good shakedown sail and all that. It was really good.
How regularly do you do that? How regularly do you change the rigging on these boats?
Well, there's a bunch of, I don't even know actually, it's not really my department, but yeah, there's for sure a lot of you know, when you're changing a lot of things, there's a lot of rig tuning that has to happen. So it's part of the process of making sure everything's set up for the day. So I'm not even sure how often all that stuff gets changed.
I'm going to jump to the end of the day. You stayed out longer than all the other teams as the breeze started to swing round and dropped away. You were rewarded in the end by just enough wind to get foiling. You wanted to try and just test those conditions?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we definitely are not worried, but we're, you know, one of the biggest concerns in this cup racing is when we have to race at the very bottom end of the range of the wind limit, and you know, and there's going to be times where we'll start a race when we're just above the wind limit and might have to finish a race and below the wind limit. So anytime we get a chance to sail just on that crossover between the 5 knots and 6 knots, 7 knots of wind is really valuable. So it was really nice to stay out and get that little bit of extra, probably only 15 or 20 minutes more foiling, but we were pretty persistent with it and kept at it, and got the boat up out of the water a couple times, and were able to do some tacks and jibes, and yeah, it's really, there's a lot of technique and a lot of design work that's gone into making that happen. So it's nice to be able to get some practice at it.
Today seems to be quite a lot about really about testing of the boat. We talked about the rig a little bit.
Yeah.
When do we move on, or when do you move on with this campaign to the racecraft, to the racing itself?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a bunch of racing that we're doing racing training a bit while we're doing all this testing and trying new bits and pieces, but we aren't allowed to race and test properly with other teams until the end of July, beginning of August, when we get a couple of practice days. So there's really not much time we can do an actual race mode with the big boat until we start racing, which is tough, but that's why the time we spent this winter with the AC40s in race mode was so valuable, and we really lean a lot on that, and then do a lot of racing in the simulator environment as well. So we're trying to do, validate a lot of the things that we do in the simulator out on the water, but we can't have two boats obviously interacting with each other on the water right now.
Where do you rank yourself in terms of the plan for the team now? Are you behind? Are you where you want to be? Are you ahead?
No, I think we're in a good spot. I mean, you'd never say that we're ahead of our plans. That's always that'd be a risky thing to say, I think. But we're, in terms of where we are, I think we're pretty comfortable. I mean, the time is always the enemy, though, in this environment, and I guess comfortable maybe was not the exact right word there, but we're moving along in our targets as expected, but more time would always be better. So it's a tough balance of how many hours and days on the water you can spend and still make sure that the boat's working properly and everything's going well and progressing and improving as well.
Great insight, Tom. Thanks so much.
We're here with Andrea Pisano, control system engineer here at Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Long day of sailing. Can you break down the day for us?
Yeah, it was a great day. It was a light wind, so we can test the various setup in those light conditions. It was also quite flat water, so very nice compared to the previous sailing day of this week, which was quite wavy. So yeah, it was a great day. We managed to test J2 at the end J1, and yeah, different setup. Also, it was a good day. Almost all the other teams were out there. So I think it was a great sunny day.
Yeah, you guys exchanged tags with Rossa, which by the way is your old team.
Yeah.
Did you see an advantage?
You cannot say really much with those testing. Both teams are testing their setup, are not really racing, so it's difficult. It's hard to say, I believe.
Was the boat working well today compared to yesterday? There were some issues yesterday, probably.
Yeah, I think the boat was working quite nice. We didn't have any stop apart of the usual checks and cruise well, batteries well. It was pretty reliable, pretty nice.
In terms of systems, what gains do you think is there to be made?
Well, I think the system is quite a big part of the boat. I think yeah, you can gain a lot of stuff in the speed of the trimming, in the various setup you can give to the boat, give to the sails, and also the appendages. So I think there is a lot of work there, of course, and yeah, so we keep pushing there.
How useful would you say is the collaboration with a Formula One team on that front, on system front?
Well, I think it's useful, but still I think we do a lot in-house, so it's helpful, but still we have our tool. We prefer keeping all the job, most of the job here, and then yes, there is some collaboration with the Formula One team. But yeah, I think we work sometimes together, but mostly yeah, we have our stuff here.
As you may know, today is last joint Recon day. Yeah. Can you tell us what your learnings are from the Recon Cloud?
I think it was a nice program. It's been a nice program for all the team. And yeah, unfortunately, you know, now we have to pay more attention when we are out there to the other boats, as there is no Recon team. But I think it was a great program. It worked very well with you guys, and yeah, it was a nice program. I think.
Thank you, Andrea, for your time, mate.
Thank you.
Sir Ben Ainsley, CEO and helmsman on INEOS Britannia, challenger of record for the 37th America's Cup. Ben, could you please walk us through the day?
It was another nice day out here in Barcelona. Slightly tricky forecast. We thought maybe there would be a bit more wind than ended up. We were on our small area mainsail, which in hindsight was a mistake because the breeze, rather than building up, it died through the early afternoon. But still, got some really useful sailing. Good conditions here in Barcelona recently, and you know, every day we can be out there learning is really a win for the team.
New versions of both foil wings declared a couple days ago, where today and yesterday straight lines aim to test the modifications.
I think it's pretty hard to pick out in these kind of conditions necessarily straight line performance off the tips, but we're really just looking for what we can see in the manoeuvres, you know, the fore coming in and out of the water, and obviously for the pilots to get a feel for what they like. And there are some other nuances, but yeah, we would, you know, that's something we'd keep in house.
On the other hand, we saw a lot of attention on the jib track. Have you done any modifications to the system?
We had a slight modification you'd have seen with the jib track fairing, just, you know, tightening that up a bit. The guys have done a nice job. We had a bit of an issue with it yesterday. They made some modifications today and it worked, albeit in the lighter airs, but we still need to give it a run through in some decent breeze.
Then last day of the Recon program today, any comments about it?
Well, no, really just a big thank you to you and the rest of the Recon team. I think it's been a great initiative for America's Cup, both for the teams in terms of keeping the cost down, but also, and possibly more importantly, for the fan engagement. Certainly we've seen on our own team sites that we've had much more engagement thanks to you guys, and I know there's certainly things that we could do better next time around, but we really appreciate it, and yeah, we'll look forward to having a beer with you later.
Thank you very much, Ben, and we wish you all the best.
Thanks.